Now let's go back to that most anticipated boxing bout. Pound for pound, the two best boxers in the world, Floyd Mayweather Jr and Philippines' Manny Pacquiao. Paul Upham is pound for pound one of the finest boxing commentators and author. And Paul, delighted to be talking to you tonight. Why are we all so captivated by this fight?
Look, clearly it's had a huge build-up over 5 years. They were meant to fight 5 years ago, but they couldn't come to negotiations. The perception was Floyd Mayweather didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao for whatever reason, but they have been the #1 and #2 best fighters of their generation. And so many boxing fans around the world have been demanding for this fight. And fortunately, they were able to come together earlier this year at an NBA basketball game in Miami and talk it through, and the deal was done, and we get this fight this Sunday in Las Vegas.
And you talk about negotiations. This is going to be a big payday for both these boxers, but of course they are extremely wealthy already. There's a lot of pride on the line here.
There certainly is, and for different reasons. Floyd Money Mayweather, who is undefeated, he's never lost, 47 wins, no losses. He has prided himself on claiming to be the greatest fighter of all time. Manny Pacquiao is a hero around the world, particularly in his Philippines, where he's an elected congressman, and he's been so hard-working, helping the people there. Recently there was a situation where he wanted to build some houses, and the money wasn't available from the government, so he donated $10 to $15 million of his own money towards the project, housing his people. So he is loved. Floyd Mayweather wears the black hat. He comes across as the bad guy. He enjoys that persona, and you've got quite a contrast in fighters, but certainly they are world-class technicians in the boxing ring.
And as you say, I mean, Mayweather is a bit of a bad guy. He's got a bad reputation. He's, you know, there've been any number of accusations thrown at him. So there's a kind of moral support behind Pacquiao, but as you would know, in the ring, it's not going to make any difference, is it?
Look, it comes back to their skill in the ring, and they're both world-class fighters. Manny Pacquiao is the only man in boxing history to win world titles in 8 weight classes. Floyd's done it in 5 weight classes. They've been the two standout fighters, and for the last 5 years we've been waiting for this fight to be made, and there's a lot of anticipation. A lot of people are watching the fight because they don't like Floyd Mayweather, they don't like his persona. He flaunts his wealth, he buys lots of expensive things, he is the bad guy, and he enjoys that persona. And a lot of people are watching it just so they can see Manny Pacquiao give him his first ever career loss.
What have you made about all the silly kind of nonsense and fun that's gone on around? There was a fabulous article listing all the kinds of things both sides do, and they are quite obsessive personalities, aren't they?
Well, I think to be an elite fighter and having spent the last 15, 20 years around some of the best fighters in the world, there is a certain arrogance level. You have to have that feeling that you can beat any man on the planet any time, and they both have supreme confidence, and it comes across as arrogance, but in many ways it's just that true belief, and they've put so many hundreds of hours into their training. And may not like Floyd Mayweather, but you have to respect him at 38, that he is still on top of his game, and the dedication that he puts into his craft. He is a skilled technician.
He does 1,000 sit-ups a day. Manny does 2,500 sit-ups a day. It's an interesting one, and I guess it shows, though, just that kind of rigour. You know, boxing, I guess, has gone off the main stage for many people as a sport, but the discipline and the rigour is really there for these fighters.
It's a boutique sport. It's become an event sport, events like this, and clearly these guys are being paid more money in one night than other elite sportsmen around the world earn in a year. And we're talking about golfers and tennis players and football players. But their dedication to their sport, but they have to be that fit to be able to handle boxing. It's such a demanding sport, and us in the sport who've been following for so long truly believe it is the ultimate challenge.
Paul, put your money on the counter. Who's going to win?
Look, I give both guys a chance to win. They're both elite fighters, but I just think Manny Mayweather will get just a points decision win. It'll be very close and hopefully a very exciting fight, but Floyd Mayweather to win on points.
All right, Paul, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Beverley.